And they'll run it here. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle, or if you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
Out of the gun now on third down. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down.
Well, when you're able to break a run against a cover 2 or a 2-deep zone, safeties are back a little ways. What you're counting on is the guys taking care of business up front and then maybe climbing to the second.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
They'll look to throw here. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether it's seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And the ball is knocked out. And they've got the football, and they're already knocking on the door inside the 5 at the 4-yard line.
Well, that sure started out as a good example of what they call backed up or coming out on offense, meaning you're backed up close to your own goal line. Big-time emphasis on practicing that to try and create some room at no less to give the punter a chance to kick the ball away. It means take care of the ball, try and create some space. They were doing that, and the ball comes free.
They'll give it to him up the middle. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. And this one through the uprights and good. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Bills getting set to go. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's got his man on the out route. Past the 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That goes for a gain of 31. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter. They'll set up a throw. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down. And Zerline's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Gone! Back 99 Philly, here we go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And the Bills have recovered. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it's a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you get a heck of a tight end candidate.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Detroit! Detroit!
Jim. Motion. Reset. Watch twist.
Detroit!
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
All right, now, lucky 56.
On play action, they'll throw. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip.
Watch him now, Barney.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Leopard.
And they'll go on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Back to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo 1st down. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. On the left side, it's McDonald. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
The 20. Caught by Snead over the middle. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A gain of 32 that time. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. In for the score. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is up to 8. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Bills' offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
4 down, 4 down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
3 down, 3 down.
Hot! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
We ain't giving up nothing today.
Hot! Hot!
They'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
They go play action here on 1st down. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Now the Bills will hustle to the line. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left. Roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. The Bills on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4.
Hey. 4 down, 4 down, 4 down.
Now back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he lost the football. And the Ravens have got it.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now out come the Bills. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Detroit! Gun! Hot!
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And caught by Thomas for a Bills touchdown. Michael Thomas in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bills cut into that lead. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the second quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well.
So what you're saying is if they take the ball down to start the second half and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it?
Absolutely. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out first and 10.
Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10.
You got four.
Gun!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield, and the Ravens have got it. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. He'll look to throw. Brought in left side by Snead. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's got Snead. And he is down deep into Buffalo territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Fighting through pressure. But now he's swallowed up and taken down.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Looking to throw. Flush to his right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Yeah, here come the Bills. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And the pressure gets to him again.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And he fields it cleanly. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's McDonald. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. They'll set up to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Fights him off. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Back to throw here. And they take him down. The Bills get to him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the fourth. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays.
Detroit!
It's been a long day for you.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Detroit! 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 Detroit!
They'll look to throw here. Escapes the defender. A scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead. Confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. They'll look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there at 22. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here with that type of a lead.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. It's their quarterback taking it in. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
Instead of having to play follow the leader there, the leader led.
I like that. And he likes that, doesn't he? 1st and goal, let me do the job.
Because you know when he falls into the end zone after falling behind those big guys who pushed up front, that's a pretty good celebration, isn't it?
Gives him a little street cred in the locker room, too, doesn't it?
Street cred, and then when they go out to dinner afterwards, he's still picking up the check.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make this a second down.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
On play action, they'll throw. Looking deep for Adams. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Bills on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll set up a throw. And Jones has it over the middle. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
They're going to look to throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Back to throw. Thomas has got it. Complete. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. The Bills passing game getting him down the field. They've got another 1st down. So with a yardage on that completion, he's now right at exactly 300 yards on the game.
And isn't that the magic number you get? 300. That means it's going to go on a commemorative football to put on your mantle when they give you the game ball if your team wins. So much confidence flowing through him right now, throwing the football. I think it's permeated itself throughout the entire team. They feel good about what they're doing.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, he did it again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Shakes off the sack. Buying time to his... But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. They'll drop to throw. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The Bills on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bills get a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. As they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
We got 3 down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Now the ball comes loose. But it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14 to 11